and act your best and think your best each day, for there may be no tomorrow. Good morning from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to Kings TV, where we serve you with the latest happening in our country and outside our country. But first, we focus more on what is happening in our country. That is how the unstabilized form of economy is affecting the comrades, more so this young generation out here, on how they are matching up to pay their bills. These guys here are struggling out to pay bills, and they are requesting the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, to match up their bills and to create job awareness so that it will be easier for them to cope up with the situation. But first, let's focus on the highlights. The National Insurance Fund.
Kama saa hizi wakati sina kazi, mtoto anakoja kama bibi.
Economic crisis affecting education. Climate change in Kiambu County. Send us your views concerning this unstabilized economy that is affecting the comrades via our social media platforms at Kings TV, at Facebook, and Kings Fraternity at YouTube. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Madenge Mary. Kiambu County happens to be growing both cash and food crops due to its favorable weather conditions. Despite this, climate hazards such as floods, droughts, and extreme temperatures are witnessed. Our correspondent Harriet Nanchama did research on this.
Kiambu County, being an agricultural hub, grows food such as maize, beans, Irish potatoes, bananas, and vegetables. Coffee and tea plantation are the main industrial crops grown in upper and lower highlands of the county. Dairy industry takes a lead of 70% of the farm families, keeping an average of 2 to 3 cows under zero grazing, hence making milk the major livestock product in the county and currently leading in Kenya. The Africa Climate Summit is set to be held from 4th to 6th September, hosted by the government of Kenya at KICC Nairobi by His Excellency President William Ruto.
I welcome you to Nairobi, Kenya's capital, with the distinction of being the only city with a national wildlife park on one side and a closed canopy forest on the other. Kenya is a country of innovative, hardworking, hospitable, and ecologically conscious people.
Well, I think you should tell the Kenyans to be active, to know that there is danger of not planting early, there is danger of not conserving the soil, and they need to plant more trees because our forests are being depleted, right? So if we can have more trees, and especially now when we are going to get El Nino, it will be very good for the country.
As Kenyans are ready to host the Africa Climate Change Summit at KICC Nairobi from 4th to 6th September, Kenyans are very hopeful that the topics which will be tabled at KICC will be able to help the greater good of the continent, which will see many African heads of state being present. Well, according to the Meteorological Department, it announced that parts of Nakuru and Nairobi, they'll be expecting heavy rains and also El Nino. In conjunctions, the members of the public have embraced these new protocols by the Meteorological Department by wearing warm clothes, and the farmers have also adjusted their ways of farming by tilling their land and ensuring that the production for the next season will be very maximum. The objectives of the summit include energy systems and industries, cities, urban and rural settlements, infrastructure and transport, land, ocean, food and water, societies, health, livelihoods and economies. Kiambu County is not only left behind as it faces climatic hazards such as drought, flooding, extreme temperature and soil erosion, hence affecting food production and livestock rearing. Kings TV, Harriet Nyanchama.
Agricultural products has risen with increase in our markets due to shortage of products. Onions has been highly affected. Kiambu Mary has more.
Onions are highly nutritious vegetable that may have several benefits, including improving heart health, better blood sugar regulation, and increased bone density. The medicinal properties of onions have been recognized for thousands of years. Arthritis in ancient Greece used onions to purify their blood, where medicinal and traditional doctors prescribed them to help treat headache, heart disease, and mouth sores. Although onions has many benefits in our bodies, has become the most expensive vegetable in the market. The country is experiencing a shortage of onions due to the decline in imports from Tanzania, which is the main source. The high cost of living has been disturbing Kenyans in our country, and the onion has become the most expensive vegetable in our country. Reporting to Kings TV, Kehio Mary.
The National Health Insurance Fund is a parasto established in 1966 under the Ministry of Health. It focuses on paying hospital bills. Karo Karemi reports.
The National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, is a state parastatal that was established in the year 1966 as a department under the Ministry of Health. The Act of Parliament that set up this fund has over the years been reviewed to accommodate the changing healthcare needs of the Kenyan population and employment. The National Health Insurance Fund succumbed a loss of 10 billion shillings through fake healthcare facilities.
Juu kama saa hizi wakati sina kazi, mtoto anakojeka kama bibi, hata akienda kupatiwa mtoto, mimi natumia hiyo kandi kama mimi nimegojeka. Hiyo kandi watu wachukue kwa sababu bila sana. Kwa mwezi nilikuwa nalipa 500, na wakati mtoto bibi anaenda kupewa mtoto, mimi nilikuwa nalipa 500, lakini hii bili inakuja kama 10,000 na sikuwa nazo, natumia hiyo card.
From 1st of September, NHIF registration fee will be 300 instead of 500. One can register online by dialing *155# or visit any NHIF office. Kings TV, Carol Karemi.
Let's take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Economic crisis has been affecting comrades at a high percentage rate. They have been suffering under numerous conditions. Madenge Mary has more. During an economic crisis, the slowdown of the economy is associated with the reductions in hourly wages rate, numbers of hours worked, and the amount of public and private funds available for schools. Such conditions affect educational outcomes such as school attendance, enrollment, and performance. Suffering has been a norm to them. Increment of fee has been a major problem. Dropouts are increasing every minute due to this paying fee on their own, and there is no job locating their way. Skipping meals tends to be a routine to them, since the little they hustle catch up with their bills. Some work day and night, which now becomes a challenge for them concentrating in classes. An economic framework for understanding students' decisions should be observed in a positive way so as to bring out positive outcomes in the field of the study. Campus students has been affected by the unstabilized form of economy in all ways, right from the fee, meals, and also other basic needs that should be matched on. Now they end up to marrying each other in the name of roommates so as to stabilize the economy and help one another to approach the bills and also match up out to everything. They are requesting the national government through the President William Ruto to create job opportunities and also stabilize the economy to make it easier for them to live. Madenge Mary, Kings TV. Kiambu Town happens to be the busiest town within Nairobi metropolitan area with a large number of business taking place. Beyonce Wangoi reports.
Kiambu is a town in Kiambu County within the Nairobi metropolitan region. It is one of the busiest towns as there are many events happening in the town. Many businesses have been reopened, resulting to congestion of the residents. Kiambu is seen as a future to the capital city Nairobi, which is undergoing rapid development with limited space of growth. Not forgetting the reopening of schools where students are rushing to buy their school equipment. Kiambu is an economical center as agriculture is the main economic activity. It is an administrative center as the county government headquarters are located there, and an industrial center, making it to have a high population. Beyonce Wangoi, Kings TV.
Learners across the country has started reporting back to school for term 3, which runs until 27th of October, where the candidates will be sitting for their final exams as from 28th of October. Ivan Anjara reports.
Learners across the country have started reporting back to school after a 2-week break. According to this year revised school calendar issued by the Ministry of Education for primary, pre-primary and secondary school and colleges, the third term officially begin on August 28 and will run until October 27. In the final term, primary and secondary school learners are supposed to stay in the institution for a period of 9 weeks. This begins the shortest term and critical because of the forthcoming national examination. There will be no mid-term break. Candidates who will not be sitting for the national exams will be on holiday from October 28th until January 8th, 2024. The grade 6 and standard 8 candidates will sit for their national exams for 4 days from October 30th to November 2nd. This term will mark the last of KCP students under the 844 system that was replaced by the 26333 beside curriculum. The Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination will be on November 3rd until November 24th. According to data from the Kenya National Examination Council, NEC, about 2.3 million candidates are supposed to sit this year for KCP and KCSE examination. A total of 1.4 million candidates are to sit for the KCP exams, while an additional of 932,000 students will sit for the KCSE papers. David Jenga, executive officer, said that the examination paper have already been set on November 27th. The teacher will begin marking the examination until December the 15th in a session that will run for 3 weeks. Kings TV, Ivan Anjala.
The government has plans on establishing offices for the opposition leaders to give them a room for whistleblowing in the government. Waweru Simon reports.
Since the 20th of March this year, demonstration of the anti-governmental that were led by opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga kicked off, and the economy of the country has not been stable since then. So as to that, the President of Kenya, William Ruto, has said that he wants to establish the office of the opposition leader. We are going to get some opinions from residents from Kiambu.
Kwa majina naitwa Festus Kimani, mkaaji wa hapa Kiambu Town. Na mimi hiyo jambo ya kufunguliwa kwa ofisi, mimi naona ikiwa sawa, sipingani nayo. Kwa sababu hata mtu akitaka kupeleka mahitaji yake pale, inasikilizwa.
Okay, hiyo ofisi mimi naona tu ikiwa fiti. Because unaona saa hiyo side yako baba. Obvious hapo hapati kitu. Akienda hiyo side akona ofisi yake, atakuwa anapata kichere yake tu hapo. Alafu sasa hakutakuwa na nini, ati zogo, ati burugu. Kenya tu itatulia.
Those have been the views of Kiambu residents on the take of the office of the opposition leader. Reporting for Kings TV, I'm Simon Waweru.
Let's take a short commercial break. We'll be right back with health news. Welcome back. Polio vaccination reaches every child below the age of 5 years with the help of the government and the parents. Our health analyst Cynthia Nyabura has more on this.
The annual polio vaccine distribution kicked off on 25th August to 28th August. Reaching every child every time with the polio vaccine is not only necessary but the duty of the government and the parents. The vaccination targeted children aged 5 years and below. This is to protect children against polio virus to the nerve system.
It's important for every child to get vaccinated so as to have an opportunity to become an adult. I managed to have a talk with one of the parents in Kiambu County. Kindly tell us your name.
My name is Mary Wairimu.
Do you have a child aged from 5 years and below?
Yes.
Did your child have an opportunity to get the vaccine?
Of course.
And do you have you heard of a parent who is saying that his or her child had never had the opportunity to get the vaccine? That was one of the comments from one of the parents in the Kiambu County. Prevent birth defect, stop polio, vaccinate, get a drop, stop the stroke. Reporting for Kings TV, Silvia Nyambura.
We're taking a short commercial break. We'll be right back with business news. Welcome back. In the area of agribusiness, the country is to expect a high amount of rainfall. The question is, as a country, are we ready to encounter the challenges in the coming days? Our business analyst Dominic has more.
In the area of business and agriculture, the Country Weather and Statistics Society gave a forecast stating that the country might experience heavy amount of rainfall, El Nino, in the coming months. Is the country ready for the rains? Are farmers ready to counter the situation? And what is the government doing to ensure the country will handle the situation? El Nino rain that has happened in the past destroyed property, soil structure, causing erosion, deaths, and more fatal cases. Kiambu, as a county that is in the highland region, faces less risk in the El Nino forecast since it is less bordered by rivers and lakes compared to regions in lowlands. The question to Kenyans, are we ready for the coming rains? Business Report, Kings TV. I am Muya Dominic.
We take another short commercial break. We'll be right back with sports news. Welcome to the Sports Focus. AFC Leopards are planning to make comeback while the summer transfer and the EPL leagues continues. Our sports analyst June Joke gives details on this.
The best motivation always comes from within. Welcome to Sports Focus, where we serve you with the latest news updates around the world of sports. We start with the local sports news, whereby the AFC Leopards are planning to make a comeback, as said by their team captain Munene. He said this on Wednesday, stressing the challenges they faced in recent years due to limitations in players' signings, but is confident they'll be a force this season after the addition of 18 new players to the club's roster. The steeplechase record holder Beatrice Chepkoech will be aiming to return to winning ways at the Zurich Diamond League on the 31st of August. She will have world bronze medalist Jacqueline for company in the Swiss city, as well as Fancy Cherono and Faith Cheroitich, bronze medalist from Budapest. On the latest transfers news, Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku is set to join Serie A Roma on a season-long loan deal. The deal includes an 8 million euro fee, and Roma will be covering the 30-year-old Belgium international's wages. Al Ittihad are ready to offer Liverpool 118 million euros for Mo Salah. The Saudi Arabia club Al Ittihad are ready to test Liverpool resolve on Mo Salah, but Liverpool hold a firm stance that their star player is strictly not for sale. Harry Kane was banned from Tottenham's training ground and unable to say his goodbyes to teammates in the build-up to his Bayern Munich move. He signed a Bayern Munich for 100 million euros. We move on to the EPL games table fixtures. On 1st September, Luton will play against West Ham. Brentford will be at home and will play against Bournemouth. Burnley will play against Tottenham. Man City against Fulham. Chelsea will play against Nottingham Forest. On 2nd of September, Sheffield United will play against Everton. Brentford will play against Bournemouth. Burnley against Tottenham. Brighton versus Newcastle. On 3rd of September, Crystal Palace will go head-to-head with Wolves, Liverpool versus Aston Villa, Arsenal versus Manchester United. That's all for Sports Focus, Kings TV, June Jockey.
I'll go through your comments on how the economy has been affecting the comrades. I can see Beyonce Wagoi says that the economy is affecting them at a very high rate and the government needs to check on that. While Maureen Kamau says that they need to implement job opportunities for the comrades so as they will make it to match up with the economy. Elizabeth Joffrey says that there's no need, we all need to put up our efforts and fight the economy, because Cosmas Mutugi says that everything will fall into place. Appreciation for joining our news timeline. Follow us on our social media platforms at Kings TV, at Facebook, and Kings Fraternity at YouTube. See you in our next briefing. Keep it Kings TV. I'm Mathenge Mary.